Well, hi, Mila. Well, hello, everyone. I have had a good nap. Mila has had a good nap. We are bonding. She's being awfully sweet, but I know in a day or two she's going to do the other thing, which is where she will want to fight. But right now she's being very loving. Had a very nice nap. Enjoyed the matcha tea covered with chocolate, almond and matcha tea. That was covered with chocolate. That's what I got people from the trip from Japan. Right now, we're at a critical crossroads between East and West. There's a trade war going on. Iran has felt that the sanctions have been very difficult for Iran, that have been imposed by the United States, etc. And sanctions have built increasing animosity with the West. Uh, and if a new trade deal is not worked out, then war could increase. We're now looking at war between Israel and Hezbollah. And as I had said, that is predominantly the fault of Donald Trump's administration when he pulled U.S. troops out of the Middle East in 2019, creating a vacuum for Hezbollah. Many pro Israelis did not focus on that because they were instead focusing on the golden calf, moving the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and thinking that somehow this meant that Putin and Trump loved Israel because people were sucked into something that was emotional. And while they were worshiping the golden calf that was the U.S. embassy, they completely forgot about the real issue, which is making sure that troops were protecting Israel in the north from Hezbollah, uh, backed by Iran, moving in. And Israel is losing land right now. We are pulling back from the north, and 70,000 people have had to evacuate. And this was done successfully by Iran because of Trump's help. So Trump is doing really good in destroying the state of Israel. In 4 more years, we probably are not going to have a state of Israel because he's done so much to help Iran kill Israelis. And so if you aren't watching and if you don't know what is going on, and if you just hear Putin and Trump talking, you would think that they are the solution rather than the problem, along with Bibi. Now you have other players, which are the people that are involved in the world international communities. And one of those people is Elon Musk, for example. Now, Elon Musk has been accused in the past of taking deals with Russia, being compromised by Russia because of his longstanding desire to work with Russia on space programs, etc. Also, his need for certain products that are better from the East, certain metals, etc., that can reach extremely high temperatures, pure metals, which are necessary for rocket boosters, etc. And so clearly, Elon Musk and other business people have an agenda, which is they want to get to peace as soon as possible so that they can get back to building good rockets, etc. But there's another side of that. Are you pro Putin or are you just pro peace? And Elon Musk would say, I'm not pro Putin, I'm pro peace. And the way to peace is that we have to have working trade routes between so that everybody is happy. And if the West is going to be so hard-headed that they are going to say my way or the highway, this war could escalate into something that is far more reaching with a lot more deaths. But if we try and get people to sit down and negotiate trade routes that are fair to everyone, we may be able to avoid an escalation in World War III. Here is the problem with that argument. The U.S. cannot do a deal with Putin because Putin and what he did to Russia is so corrupted that they are not a negotiating partner for any future trade negotiations. The only way that the West would be able to negotiate trade is if Putin was gone because of the insanity with which Putin has behaved. There's nothing calm and intelligent about invading a sovereign nation and taking children prisoner, which is what the Russians have done. And so so while I can respect people trying to get to peace and trying to avoid all-out war with Russia and more deaths, a pause is only going to strengthen the East. It's only going to give Russia, Hamas, and Hezbollah time to rearm so that the next time they come after the West, they really will be able to finish us off. And so I understand the naivety of wanting to sit down and renegotiate trade routes. But the data is warning against being naive. The data is warning that if we make a deal like that, Iran could come back and wipe us out in another 3-4 years. So again, trying to get to peace to avoid World War III is not necessarily the better option. Sure, it might give us 3-4 years of peace. But if your enemy is hell-bent on destroying you and you are arming them by giving them more money, you're basically ensuring that the day is going to come when they're going to take you out if their view of you hasn't changed. And so for that reason, I would say to those people that are working towards peace, want to see what happens at the peace conference that's taking place in Kazakhstan with Putin, Xi, and I think some Iran is a part of that, etc. If we do not dismantle Putin's government, and if we instead make a deal with Russia, there will never be, Ukraine will never be safe, and Israel will never be safe. Israel will never be safe because you can be sure that Iran will be arming Hezbollah. Negotiations should happen, but negotiations have to happen in a way where, number one, we have a real negotiating partner, and number two, there can be no opportunity for our enemies to rearm. All right, so that is what I see on the issue of the trade war. People are trying to get to a settlement and a negotiation, specifically Elon Musk, as soon as possible, because Elon Musk is trying to avoid World War III. Unfortunately, he's naive, because even though he will claim he is not pro-Putin, he's pro-peace, if he thinks that Putin is not a psychopath, or if he thinks that that guy is somebody we can actually do long-term business with, unfortunately, he is sadly mistaken. And I would disagree with Elon Musk and say, unfortunately, until we see new leadership in Russia, the war between East and West will continue. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching this quick video. Be sure and share, like, subscribe. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, check the information below, and we'll see you next time. Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.